If you wonder what happens after your house floods from a random pipe burst, this is the full process from start to finish. What is like a lake? The entire process took a total of 7 weeks, but once we finally got all the water physically off the floor, we immediately put fans in the house to try to dry it up and called insurance. One pro tip is do not wait to call insurance even if it's a small leak, because we ended up ripping up all the floors in the house that day. Then they put in fans in every single room. They also added a dehumidifier, which makes your room very, very hot and sounds so loud. They also offered us a free hotel that would be covered by insurance, but instead I chose to stay at the house sometimes. But if the dehumidifier was inside the house, I went and stayed with my aunt and uncle, or I was traveling. All these clothes have to go somewhere because it's going to get so dusty everywhere in the house. We started the process of moving all of our clothes into storage or into the garage, picked out what wood we wanted, and they started bringing that in, which took about a week to get in. They covered up everything in the house, including the kitchen, the furniture, the TVs. This is where the fun really starts. The sanding of the house feels like an earthquake. It shook the whole house, and the dogs were not having it. Each room took about 2 days, maybe 3 days to complete, depending on how big it was, but watching them put down this glue was so interesting to me. The process went room by room, but every single time that they went into a new room, they would have to move the furniture into another room, so basically the entire house has been a mess for weeks. The process of putting down the floor in every single room took about a week and a half to 2 weeks, but once we got all of that down, we made sure to change every single water line underneath all of our sinks in our house. Had to get that top of the notch line because we don't want that again. Now it was time to move on to the baseboard. So they replaced every single baseboard in the house, and then we had to have painters come in and paint it to the correct color. The water damage had even made some of the baseboards and door frames deteriorate. So now that we got the new floor, baseboards, everything painted, it was time to start moving things back into the house to make this house feel and look like a home again.